Thank you for listening to Dialogues on Democracy, featuring stories and expertise from IFES's 25 years of supporting sustainable democracy. I'm Joseph Marcus. Dr. Jørgen Elklit was selected as the 2013 Joe C. Baxter Awardee because he has had significant impact on the field of electoral administration and integrity. Dr. Elklit has been an advisor on electoral systems in Afghanistan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, China, Iraq, Kenya, Lesotho, Nepal, Tanzania, among many other countries. His time on the Independent Electoral Commission in South Africa, and as the secretary of the Kriegler Commission, which investigated the rampant violence following Kenya's 2007 elections, are particularly notable. In this podcast, Dr. Jørgen Elklit reflects on the progress he has been a part of and his work in the field of electoral integrity. Dr. Elklit, thank you for sitting down with me. You were a member of the 1994 South African Election Commission and helped oversee the first elections that led to the end of the apartheid. What are your most memorable experiences from those historic elections?
Well, let me start by correcting. You said oversee them. We actually run them. Being a member of the commission, we were taking an active part in making them happen. My two strong memories, actually. One is that on the day of the election, we were in some of us in the ops room, and there were from early morning a lot of calls. We miss ballot papers, we miss this or that, what do we do, all kinds of problems. And then at the end of the day, someone turned the television on, and instead of problems, we saw that people were jubilant, celebrating the fine elections, but all the little problems had been coming into our room, and that was a very strange shift of atmosphere from being depressed to being jubilant. The other was that I was the one who read out to the world the results. That's also something I'll remember forever.
Electoral integrity has become a centerpiece of your work in recent years. What makes this such an important aspect of successful elections?
It's a very complicated, thick concept to work with. Can you have elections with integrity if there are problems with political finance, participation, the perception of what actually happened? And I think if there are problems in any of the many areas, then you have problems with the overall electoral integrity, and therefore it's an all-encompassing concept. And then that the elections are being perceived by people as being good enough. How to measure it is complicated, and is something which we in the academic world discuss.
Which brings me to a next question. You've been both a researcher, an electoral researcher, and practitioner. How have these roles sort of complemented each other, or how have you leveraged one for the other?
Well, of course, you could ask some of my students if they benefited from what I seen overseas. No, I think it has been good for my university work, my academic work, that I've been in the field and seen what happens there, and worked with governments so that I could put more blood and flesh on my teaching, which hopefully has been inspiring for my students and given them a fuller picture of what has happened in a number of situations. But also, on the other hand, in my practice, being able to say, well, in this particular field, for instance, what does the literature say? I remember in 94 we had an issue about the order and on which parties should appear on the ballot paper, and how that should be decided, and what kind of influence would there be on that, and then to be in command of the literature and be able to talk to fellow commissioners about that and find a solution to what we should do is an example of that. Also working with electoral systems, as I do a lot, it's good to know the literature and feel on top of that when talking to politicians in a particular country.
What does receiving the Joe C. Baxter mean to you as a professional in election management and research?
Well, it means a lot to me personally because it's a very nice recognition of the work I've been doing over the last many years, and to be mentioned both in connection with Baxter's name and previous recipients is a great honor for me. So it means a lot for me personally. I also hope that it will mean that it strengthens my credibility in the electoral world. That IFES has recognized my work by awarding me the Baxter Award. So I'm very grateful for that.
For more dialogues on democracy and information about IFES's electoral integrity and transparency work, please visit our website, www.ifes.org.